Hey there, blooming beauties. Welcome back to Sincerely 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. In today's video, y'all, this is the second mint soap that I created right before Father's Day. This soap, this is the one. From the design to the smell, this is the one. But before we even get into the design of the soap, like all of my videos, the first thing that I'm doing is prepping. So I'm going to measure out my distilled water and my lye. I will mix those together and set that to the side to cool. I'll then measure out my fats, both liquid and solid, and I'll bring that to the double boiler to melt. In later clips, I'll measure out the additional ingredients such as my fragrance, micas, and sodium lactate. And then in phase 2 is where I'll combine everything. But since this is just me doing what I normally do in all of my videos, I'm just gonna go ahead and bow out for right now. Let y'all enjoy the jazz music, and I'll come back to provide my commentary. Enjoy. It's down 160 degrees. I don't think I should do it. So in that clip y'all just heard, I was contemplating on if I should attempt the heat transfer method on this batch of soap. Now I have tried the heat transfer method before, 2 times in the past. Both times it was with embeds and it was a fail. And my fear with doing the heat transfer method is exactly what manifested when I did it. My butters did not melt, and I'm stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring, and it would not melt. And as y'all know, I am no longer soaping in my kitchen, so I would like to stop going to the kitchen to do the double boil method. And I know I can buy a hot plate and do it in my office, but either way, it takes forever and a day for the fats to melt. In the beginning of the clip, the sun was out. As you see here, the lighting has changed because it is now nighttime. So melting the fats and then waiting for it to cool down to an appropriate temperature, it can be too much at times. So if you are someone who's a soap maker and you do use the heat transfer method, definitely provide me with some tips because I would love to try it without it being a fail. So please, I'm begging, provide me with some tips. Thanks in advance. So I only showed clips of me measuring out the activated charcoal, and I didn't show me measuring out the white mica. So these were going to be the only 2 colors that I was going to use. But when I think of black and white, for some reason, I thought about my Beetlejuice soap, and that's not what I was going for. So when I think of boldness and masculinity, I think of black, white, gray sweatpants, gray suit, you know, all that. And ultimately, these 3 colors go really well together. Now the technique for this soap is a drop swirl, and a drop swirl is basically you pour your first color in, and the second color that you pour in, you will pour it down from a height. And because you poured it in from a height, it will drop into the batter a certain way, making certain swirls. So starting this technique, I'm going to start with my base color, which is white. After doing white, I'll pour in the gray batter, and the gray batter, as you can see when I drop it in, it does slightly sink to the bottom. After that, I'm going to put in my black layer, and again, you'll see that it slightly sinks to the bottom, and that is what creates those organic flowing swirls. I will drop the white batter in again, and that is where you can really see that it drops to the bottom, creating those, again, swirls. And I'll just alternate the colors. So as I stated earlier when describing the technique, you are supposed to pour the batter in from a height towards the top of the soap. I was supposed to be dropping it from a height, and I just started not dropping it. I just started laying it on the layer before. And so when I cut the soap, you'll see that the bottom has more of that drop swirl effect, and the top kind of just has a layered effect. The soap nonetheless is still very beautiful, but instead of dropping it like it was hot, like I was supposed to, I dropped it like it was cold, I guess. Like I stated in the beginning of the video, y'all, I absolutely love this soap. From the way that it looks to the fragrance, I love everything about it. So when it comes to me and creating my soaps, I let one idea take me wherever it needs to take me. For example, for this particular soap, I took a whiff of the fragrance and immediately I felt like I was transported to a jazz club in the 50s or the 60s, which is why there is jazz music playing. And when I think of a jazz club back then, I think of cigar smoke all in the air, which is why in the intro and the outro there is smoke. Yeah, that's just basically how my brain works for my soap ideas. I let an idea engulf me and then I bring it to fruition in soap form. With all that being said, y'all, this is the soap and I absolutely, again, love it. You see that there are some drops at the bottom. Closer to the end of the loaf is where you'll really see the drops, but absolutely, again, love this soap. I hope you guys love it too. The fragrance is so bold, bolder than Midnight Tide. So it does have an intoxicating smell to it, but intoxicating in a good way. If I could name this soap anything, I think that I would name it Date Night. And this is the type of date night that's just for you and your significant other. That's it. That's all. And that's all I'm going to say, okay? That's the type of smell that this soap gives. And I think I'm gonna gift this to my man because I would love for him to smell like this. If you have a loved one that you would love to gift this to, this soap will be available in my Shopify at sandalwood-scented.co. I hope that you guys enjoy this soap making video. Like always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see my Blue Man Beauties in another video. All right, guys. Bye.